G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the south side of the map, playing as the Holy Roman Empire, we have got Eric. In the north of the map, playing as the English, we have got Don Artie. Yes, it is the one, the only, the Don. It is great to see him back. He looks to be in form recently. Currently sitting at rank number 68, Don Artie. Very close to being nice, but not quite nice enough. Opening up with an early mill. Now, for anybody unfamiliar with Don Artie, let me just tell you a little bit about Don. This guy is an absolute professional. Now, when I say a professional, I don't mean it in the old concept, the term of the words. I mean like he is an assassin, this guy. He played Age of Empires 3 for a very short time, but in that time frame that he played it, he actually came through to Age of Empires and he beat the guy that was the #1 player in a best of 5 series in the most entertaining series you've ever seen. So coming from the Age of Empires 3 scene, this guy is a complete and utter legend. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to the table today because he has got his famous English and he's very happy to be playing them. Looks like he's going to be opening up with an early mill. Now keep in mind we are on the new patch, so we do get the extra wood coming out from the English. And as a result, Don looks to go, instead of into a barracks, like many of our English players do, such as the Muslim, he loves to do an early barracks. Don is just going to be putting it into a wheelbarrow. So interesting opening coming out from him. And now going to be clicking that wheelbarrow any second. There it is. Wheelbarrow coming through for Don. So interesting to see such variance in the build orders. Now, Don, he's one of those guys you got to watch out for. I'm curious to see how he unfolds this game. But Eric on the other side of the map, he's playing the Holy Roman Empire and already opens up with a prelate. Doesn't look like he's going to be going too heavily on the prelates. Sometimes you do see a double prelate opening. In fact, you know what? I say sometimes. I think it was once that we saw a double prelate opening. It was Zertan against... Who was it? Zertan against somebody. It was like in the Age of Empires 4 beta when Holy Roman Empire was a thing. And like the build order was Mine Work Palace into Mass Men at Arms. And nobody knew how to stop the Men at Arms. And now all of a sudden, like we've worked out how to stop them. But back in those days, it was a double prelate build order that people were using in that scenario because you had so many villages on gold. But now Eric... Going to be gathering up plenty of gold, going to be looking to age up shortly. This map, of course, is Dry Arabia, and this game is part of Golden League. If you're unfamiliar with Golden League, let me acquaint you. $125,000, a tournament that lasts months, and it happens every single weekend at 15 GMT on Saturday and on Sunday. So be there or be square. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can find it. It'll be on EGC TV. If you're familiar with that Twitch, you can make sure you go check them out. Alternatively, if you're unfamiliar with that Twitch, make sure you do go check them out. Leave a follow, turn the notifications on, all that kind of stuff. That way, when they go live, you'll actually be notified, and that way you won't miss a beat. But speaking of missing a beat, we've got Don back here in the base, almost finished with that wheelbarrow. You can see he's got all of the villages underneath the town center. Not going to be opting for a heavy wood opening. It's interesting the way that the English open. They've got so many different variables that can be chosen or that can be played with. You've got the early farm opening that we did see that came out for like a week or two. You've had the barracks opening that seems to be very popular at the moment. And then we've just got like the standard wheelbarrow opening, which I think for the English is probably their best opening. And the reason why is because wheelbarrow is just a bonus that synergizes very well with the English. And you might be wondering, Drongo, how does wheelbarrow even possibly synergize with a civilization like the English? Well, let me explain it to you. English typically don't want to be gathering gold. And as a result, all of their villages aren't going to be on gold for a very long time. It's very rare that they're going to be on gold. And in the event that because they're not on gold, their villages here, the gold mining villages don't move a lot, which means they don't really benefit that much from wheelbarrow. So as a civilization, the English don't benefit from the wheelbarrow in that their villages typically are going to be on wood and they're going to be on food, which are resources that benefit a lot more from wheelbarrow. You can see already the walking distance that's going to happen with this villager right here. Now, obviously, it's gathering up to 15, so it means that the walking distance is going to be happening less often, but there is quite a bit of a walking distance, especially more than you would expect on a gold mine. By the same token, their mill, which gathers faster, or at least it applies a gather rate increase on their villages that are gathering or that are harvesting the farms below it by a significant amount. 15% in the Dark Age, 20% in the Feudal Age, 25 and 30% for the other two ages respectively. And it is a huge amount. And what that essentially means is because your villagers are gathering faster on these mills than other civilizations, it means they are walking more because they gather, they have to hand in their resources, and as a result, they go back to their farm, and then they're going to be over here. So they're walking more because they're gathering faster. And that's why we see wheelbarrow synergizing incredibly well for the English. And that's why I expect you will see, even in 3 years, 4 years to come, the #1 English build order is going to be a wheelbarrow opening. It just makes total sense. And Don now opening with a council hall on the other side of the map will check in with his opponent. Eric is dropping down the Minework Palace. It looks like an early wheelbarrow going to be coming out for him as well. So neither player skipping the early wheelbarrow. Stable and archery range going to be coming out out from Eric. Interesting opening for him. Normally, you would expect like a double stable opening coming out from the Holy Roman Empire. It seems to synergize quite well with the way that they play, but instead just going to be going for the single archery range. And I kind of feel like this is a decent opening because it is going to be keeping the English player in their base. And the question is, what does Don look to do? Does he look to go for a fast castle? Does he look to go for a potential age 2 play? Does he just look to go for a mass farm economy sort of thing? That is the question. But the answer is definitely that wheelbarrow is the right choice, no matter what you do. Prelates now, still only a single prelate coming out for Eric. At this point in the game, you could be thinking about adding in a second prelate just because you've got 5 villagers that are over here. The prelate going to be doing work underneath the town center, buffing up 9 villagers. He's also got villagers at the lumber camp that he could be buffing up. You can see he turns around, throws off his arms, and indeed he does inspire up a couple villagers. But now slowly and steadily adding in more units. And this, of course, is Dry Arabia, so it is an open map. And typically, you would expect civilizations like the Delhi, like the Mongols, like the Abbasid dynasty to be coming out on this map. But because of the rules that are currently in place for this tournament, you don't actually see them. We have got rules for this weekend as well as next weekend, which is the off-meta combat round, that players are not allowed to choose civilizations that are considered meta. And so the civilizations that are considered meta on this map are those 3 civs that I did mention. The Abbasid dynasty, the Delhi, and the Mongols are all considered to be better picks. But the English are not, the Holy Roman Empire are not, and now we see more longbows being added in by Don Artie. He's looking to try and take control of his base, obviously struggling a little bit earlier. A single horseman was coming in, but it's just a horseman, so you don't really have to be scared of it. You can see the horseman here almost dying to the wolf. That is how terrible the horseman is. But now, at the same time, another wolf going to be getting in on the battle, and this is the consequence of not cleaning up those wolves if you're expecting to be doing some early aggression in the early stages of the game. But now Eric looking, trying to take control, forcing out a few more units from his opponent than what he'd probably like. Blacksmith has gone down, +1. Steeled arrow coming through, and Longbow's doing a great job of just picking off or doing some damage here to the horsemen. They can always fall back to the safety of the town center, and it's going to be so difficult for them to stop. And now Don doing what Don does best, and he is booming, going for the early horticulture upgrade, also adding in a barracks. So Don's economy is looking to absolutely go ham at this point in time. Still yet to add in a second mill at this point, but realistically, 8 farms is all you really need in this position. But we'll check in with his opponent and see what Eric is up to, because Eric typically wants to be going for a fast castle. He wants to be looking to grab these relics on the map. We'll look to see how he does it, though. There's a couple of theories as to the way that the Holy Roman Empire should play now that they have been, I guess you could say, nerfed in the Castle Age, nerfed in the Imperial Age. Obviously, the Palace of Swabia, no longer the king that it used to be. The Regnitz Cathedral, no longer the king that it used to be. And I'm going to change perspective right now because I don't want to hear this wolf picking a fight with its enemy. Oh, isn't that much better? Can you imagine right now if we had a third player perspective? So you've got Don Artie, right? You've got Eric right here. Imagine if there was a third one just called like a neutral player, and then that way you didn't get attack alarms, you didn't get wolf alarms. That's what I dream of. One day it will happen. Whether it happens today, I don't think so. Don now managing to hold off, doing the classic archer spam, and this is part of the reason why against English you would expect Eric as the Holy Roman Empire to be opening with a double stable opening, just because he's never really going to have the amount of horsemen that is required to deal with these longbows. These longbows are always going to be outnumbering, outproducing, outmassing the army of Eric. But now Eric up towards the north, going to be idling up the gold mine. A single villager does go down. Second villager eyeing off a potential grave, but not going to be able to find it. Archer 1 going down, and now the longbow's moving into position at the same time. We'll see whether Eric is looking to come in from the south side and do some damage. But what is he doing? He's got longbows, or he's got horsemen all out over the map. I think he might be looking for villagers or something like that. But now population capacity has been reached. A little bit of a miss macro coming out from him. Minework Palace, when it comes to the upgrades, we see that he's getting a few of them through. He's actually going for complete ranged +1s at this stage of the game, but he is going to get repelled by Don's archers. Don doing a great job in this position. Now up towards the north. The horsemen begin to head. He's got plenty of horsemen out at this point in time, but that's Sideshow Bob right there that I'm doing from The Simpsons. It's when he steps on the rakes. It's a beautiful clip. But now second mill finally going to be added down from Don. You can see he is intent on gathering plenty of fresh food from this. And also we do see a siege engineering coming through. And look at the macro from Don. Look how perfect this macro is. He's got 1 villager in the queue. He's got no longbows in the queue right now. He had 1 spearman in the queue, and yet he was under 50 of every single resource. Just the macro is so on point from this guy. You got to be so careful dealing with him. But now we begin to see that the archers might find themselves a bit out of position as they get picked off completely by the longbows. Definitely not enough archers here to deal with the spears, and the spears going to be able to take out and take control of the horsemen, losing all those archers archers, and now Eric continuing to struggle. And this is a consequence of that earlier battle where he lost out more. And now we see the Holy Roman Empire player looking to take the boar, and I got to tell you, this excites me greatly. So hopefully we begin to see this is what I think might be the future for the Holy Roman Empire, at least what I think could be a possibility for the future of the Holy Roman Empire. We'll talk about it in a little bit because we've got a battle breaking out in the middle as once again, Eric going to be falling back. The English mass is beginning to build. And Don Artie going to be trying to push through. Keep in mind, he does have that siege engineering, so we could have a battering ram going down shortly. But ideally, what I'd love to see, okay, in this position, so you've got Eric out here on the north side of the map, who's come out and taken the boar, and now he drops down an outpost to protect his villagers on the boar. He's got the prelate out here to buff them up because there's 8 villagers, right? And that's a good amount for a prelate to be buffing up. So what could you do once you hit the castle age? Come on, think about it. I'll give you 2 seconds. Correct. You look for a nearby relic and you place it in that outpost. You look for another nearby relic and you place it in the second outpost, because that is what you're going to be doing. That is how you're going to be guarding those villagers in that position. And then that enables you to pick up those relics from a very safe position. You're never really going to be, getting picked up by any enemy reinforcements or anything like that. And as a result, it means that you don't actually have to go for your Regnitz Cathedral. You can go for the other landmark. And guess what? You can use these 8 villages out here to do it. So let's look to see how Eric plays it. Hopefully that is what he decides to do, but we'll see how he does it. But now Eric going to be struggling. Once again, a huge mass of archers here. Not going to be enough to prevent the push that's coming in from Don Artie. Don Artie English. This is the new patch Don Artie. Keep that in mind. This is not the old patch Don Artie. Don Artie, he has evolved. This is Don Artie 2.0. But still sitting on I love the fact he's sitting on 2 production buildings. We're 12 minutes into the game. He's got 40 villages. He's got all of his upgrades. And yet still, he just sits on 2 production buildings. He's got such a big economy. Let's just go with that. He's got such a big economy, but still he only needs to sit on that landmark as well as the barracks. So great to see from him. And now we see Don going to be struggling once again. A fair few horsemen in this position. Don actually sniping out all of the archers on the back line. Got to be careful here not to lose his spearmen. You can see they do get picked off. 2 of the spearmen going down, and now Don once again going to be looking to struggle finally taking out those archers, but there's a decent lack of spearmen here for him. So falling back towards that outpost, it's going to be providing that network of castles bonus. We can see it coming through now, giving it an extra 25 attack speed, and now at the same time battering ram going to be repelled by the villagers. They're doing a great job here, but Don has managed to whittle down the enemy forces down to 0, and all that stands are longbows, and longbows love to take down villagers. They love to take down horsemen. They do such a great job out of it, and we can see that now the horsemen going to be coming out. They've got that +1 damage, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough because Don Artie is looking very strong, but now reinforcements going to be coming through. We've got that defender's advantage coming through for Eric at this point in time, and Eric looks to try and hold on in this position, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough. Ideally, you'd like to see even like a men-at-arms or something begin charging out from this position. Longbowmen just doing so well at holding this ground, holding this position, of Don looking steadfast in this position. But you can see behind this, he's thinking about a castle age. You know, the Don is not the kind of guy to let his macro slip in a position like this. More spearmen being rallied out towards this position, but he's looking to do damage towards his opponent, or at least prevent him from aging up. And that's the smart thing coming out from Don, and I love to see it from him. At the same time now, we begin to see a campfire going down. Don going to be healing up these units. And does he look for more upgrades? We'll take a look. No double broadaxe coming out from him at this stage. Don't think we're going to see any specialized pick for him either. Indeed, we are not. But just going to be focusing on his food economy. You can see he's got 16 villages here on food. Not all of them collecting from farms, but the good ones are at least. But now, a second battering ram going to be coming in for Don Artie. Eric continuing to struggle. He's got those 8 villages up to the north, still gathering up on the boar. But you can't help but feel like there's just, it's too little too late. The Don Artie death push is now fully in action. And it really just comes down to, I feel like it's just the fact that Eric never went for that age 3. Ideally, you'd go for something like a double stable opening, you know, keep your enemy in his base, that sort of thing. And then at the same time, you do the same thing that Mr. was doing. Just keep 3 villages here on gold. And you're slowly working towards that 600 gold. At the same time, the Ark Chapel going to be buffing up, you know, whether it's berries, whether it's deer, that sort of thing. And really going for a nice juicy one. And then all of your food economy buffed up by that Ark Chapel, and then work towards that age 3. But it wasn't the case here for Eric. Eric stuck himself in age 2, and now he sort of looks to pay for it with his life, as he's got more infrastructure back behind this, almost looking to emulate the success of the Rus. But unfortunately, it doesn't even have his double broadaxe. You can see he's doing a little bit of a long distance mining or long distance chopping operation here with his villagers. Not going to have a whole lot of luck with that. Ideally wants to put another lumber camp in right here. But now Don looking to apply pressure, going up to the 3rd age. It's going to be the King's Palace he goes for, dropping it down on the wood line closest to his base. Only one really available to him now. He's got this one at the back, but still working on it. House going to be going down for Don as well. And the question is, where does he go from here? Does he look to go into Knights? Does he look to stick with it with the Council Hall? Does he look to go into Elite upgrades? Also going to be researching textiles? What is this all about? Why do you need textiles, Don? Are you scared of a potential counterattack? Is that the play? Potentially, that is the counterplay. But now Don completely looking to seal up his enemy with a ring of outposts. It is exactly the way that Don loves to play. And now reaching the castle age, but at the same time pushing into his opponent. Not an advisable choice. And at the same time, Spear's going to be coming out here. You've got to be careful, Don, as all of those Spears going to be moving forward, actually taking out some pretty decent shots on the Horsemen. But the Archers just looking to trade out with the Longbows. There's not enough Archers here. Only 17 Archers now for Don's opponent, and Eric at the same time just going to be going up against more than 20 Longbows. So really falling back, and now you can see he's struggling with the economy. 39 villagers for Eric compared to Don, who's on 50, so losing a lot of villagers. Obviously there were villagers that were healing up or trying to repair that barracks, trying to take down the battering ram, and Don was trading out effectively with them. But now we begin to see the veteran upgrades coming through for Don Artie. Also going for his man-at-arm upgrade, so looking to upgrade those in the fortress. Again, once I go the castle age, there we go. But now it's always going to be a downhill fight for Eric, or rather an uphill fight, rather for him. The archers, even though they've got their upgrades, these guys aren't veteran archers, and they're fighting up against longbows. So they've got the extra armor, they've got the extra health, they've got the extra attack from being a veteran. I said extra armor, they don't actually get extra armor from being veteran, but they do get extra health, they do get extra attack, and yeah, you can just see that Don having such great trades in this position, and he's very happy in this position. Still yet to add in any emplacements, though. Very interestingly, normally you'd expect the English player would look to add emplacements in this position. We've seen the Muslim do that with great success, and it means that he's able to hold on to this position without really ever losing it. But now down towards the south, the villager was going for an outpost in this position, is going to be denied out by the villagers of his opponent. And look at the damage that comes down there. Don cancelling it before losing all of his resources. A smart move from him, but now Eric moving up towards the north. Once again, outside Don's base, and Don absolutely clueless about this potential move, but at the same time, you'd expect him to be, just simply because it's deer. And Don has no interest in collecting deer, he's got no interest in collecting berries, but at the same time, I mean, Eric's going to be looking to continue gathering that up, and now we finally see the emergency repairs coming out from his Holy Roman Empire opponent, struggling really to keep it above the ground, above the water, and Don now going to be able to push in towards this position. But at the same time, falling back towards these outposts. Now we've actually got sprinkled emplacements coming out. So the sprinkled emplacement's going to be the weapon of choice here. You can see they fire in from underneath that. They don't get the cool little upgrade that the arrow slits get. You know, it sort of changes the way that the top looks on them. Not going to be the case here. It's hard to tell the difference between an arrow slits outpost and one that doesn't have it. You got to be very carefully looking for it. But now we hear relics being picked up as well by Don, I would assume. In the center of the map, indeed it is the monk. Going to be looking to pull these relics back towards the monastery. And now the second monk going to be coming out as well. Don looking very strong. Eric yet to even think about going up to the castle age at this point in time. And it looks like the emplacement on the outpost is going to be starting to fire on that Minework Palace. Don Artie looking very strong. I'm curious to see how his opponent could possibly respond to this. We do see a battering ram coming out. It's definitely the right choice, but now men-at-arms going to be coming out for Don as well. Has he looked to go for that armor-clad upgrade? It doesn't seem like it just yet. What kind of upgrades have we got coming in through from the blacksmith? It looks like just a +2 ranged armor going to be coming through from him. And I got to say, it's probably the smartest move for him to be going that. He can be getting up to 8 armor on these men-at-arms in this second age, or rather in this third age. So we'll look to see whether he does it. Now the archer mass really starting to build up from Eric here. You can see he's up to 39 archers. He's going to be moving forward, trying to be taking out those longbows. Just ignoring all the men-at-arms. And Eric, I don't know whether that's a critical mistake, but pushing it in underneath your enemy at this point, it just seems like a little bit of a waste. You're fighting just against a fight that you don't really need to be taking. But at the end of the day, I mean, what other option did you have, Eric? And now Eric losing all of his units here. I mean, he's trying his best to keep them alive, but you can just see the men-at-arms going to be making their way towards it. Keep in mind, he is playing the Holy Roman Empire. He does have that movement speed upgrade coming through, 1.38 movement speed against the men-at-arms that have only got 1.44 when they're charging, but when they're not charging, it's 1.12. 24 idols coming out from Eric as well. Everything going terribly for Eric right now as he turns his attention towards his opponent, looking to try and make it towards the base. But you really got to wonder what he's doing. Don just sort of forgetting about that now, just moving the rest of his units towards the front of the base. Sprinkled emplacement taking out that battering ram from Eric. And now the men-at-arms are going to be just doing their swings as they love to do. And Eric really going to be struggling. He manages to find a villager, but Don Artie, with the Big Brain Textiles improvement, is going to be able to survive at least one shot here. The Wallalol coming up here, looking to defend from this position. Villagers got to be careful here as they manage to get picked off. So Eric's trying to find a way back into this game, but at the same time, he's got no access to resources. The best thing he's got going for him right now is this prelate, as well as these villagers gathering up towards the north of Don, or rather the east of Don Artie's base. Meanwhile, down for Don Artie, look at the line of sight that he's got. He's got so much line of sight over this position. Also, continuing to get in those relics. You can see right now, he is sitting on 2 relics, 3rd relic coming in, 4th relic over towards the west. No, is he looking for relics? I'm not sure. He must be looking for relics. Indeed, he's looking for relics. Hasn't yet found that 5th relic. Has found this one down to the south. I suspect he's going to be beelining down towards this position. Where is it? There it is. That was a deer. Drongo, you're blind, Matt. But now the Men-at-Arms going to look to wreak havoc upon Eric, as Eric is finally going up to the Imperial Age. It's going to be 24 villagers making the Burgrave Palace. We are indeed seeing the Burgrave Palace in competitive play. It is happening. Keep in mind, this is the Golden League. This is a tournament for $125,000, and we are finally seeing the Burgrave Palace. Is it going to be here? Is it going to be happening? Is it going to be able to save the day for Eric? That is the question on everyone's mind. It's an interesting landmark. I don't know how well it's going to be working. We'll enter into the cinematic mode to watch as it's beautiful, as it tries to do everything that it can. But Don going to be funneling in units, and now Eric needs to look for those upgrades, but his economy is just in absolute shambles. He's got 40 villagers compared to Don, who's sitting on 66. Don, incredible amount of villagers, and now Archer's still back behind the base of Don. He's pumping out villagers non-stop. Also going to be going into night. He knows his enemy's up in the 3rd age, but he's already taken 3 of those 5 relics. The 4th one going to be captured up shortly. You can suspect that it's going to be on the way as the... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Don loses the Monk. But now continues to cause havoc in the base of his opponent, and Eric is just absolutely in shambles right now. He's got the emergency repairs on the town center, but you can't help but wonder if there's anything that he can do in this position. I think it might be a good game. Don now moving out towards this 3rd rather wood line, and slowly but steadily cleans up this position. His position is incredible compared to his opponent. Now we see crossbows actually coming out. There could be a hope here. The crossbows could definitely be the way back into the game, but it sounds like good game is about to happen. Indeed it is. Good game, well played. Don Artie victorious, and I guess the Burgrave Palace didn't really do much, so you know what, we're not going to sell it to you, but there you guys go. Make sure you check out Don. I'll leave a link in the description. Make sure you check out Golden League. I'll leave a link in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.